There are many songs of Sedona, not all sung with human voices, not all heard with human ears. They are echoes of the past and prophecies of a new age. To hear them, say the ancients, you need only search your heart and turn your face to the wind. Do you have the heart to hear? Time to listen up. This is Mixed Plate. There is an exceptional luminescence to this sky, a palpable restlessness in the air, and not just tonight. Every night in Sedona is peculiar in some way, and has been since the beginning of time, or so the Sinawan tribes believed. In their lore, this was a place of power, and the source of that mana was the Red Rock. Sedona is a magnet to a new generation of believers who call this space in time the New Age. A Havasupai prophecy claims the children of the Great Spirit will reach for the stars in the place where the river runs through the desert. And the mountains are of many colors, red, white, black, yellow, brown, like the people of the earth. New Agers call such a location a vortex.
We have 5 major vortexes here. A vortex is places on our planet where we have inflow of energy or outflow of energy. When you sit and relax, you may experience that you have easy to communicate with spirit, with God, space brothers, guardian angels or whatever. It's much easier in an inflow of energy, and then you may start processing emotions and feelings.
I believe the New Age is misinterpreted because a lot of people think that we do weird things, we have weird ideas. Right here from the heart chakra, the aura comes up, it follows this patterning, and then it goes up into the universe.
And this area right here is past lives on this planet. And then over here are past lives in other galaxies. You've come to Earth fairly recently, and you've come mostly as a man. Does that resonate with you?
Oh, yeah.
We have this wonderful Hug Me vortex tree here. You're getting a very special energy from trees. Trees are taking the photon energy from the universe and are transforming it into cosmic light energy, and it goes into your body. So when you are standing near to a tree, you're getting much more energized than you are out here in the sun.
New Age means going beyond our sense of limitation. It means a connection back to ancient ways as well, and a rekindling of things so that we look at things in another way and perhaps a more complete way.
I stand before you as a priestess of Gaia, upholding all life as sacred and the earth as our temple, the living earth as our temple, and as a priestess of Isis and Osiris. And interestingly, many people refer to Sedona as Little Egypt.
The chant is an affirmation of a New Age concept, the evolution of being. We are free to explore who we are, were, and will be. The hopes and dreams for the next millennium are wrapped in sage leaves, committed to the flame of the peace pipe, and carried to the heavens within this song of Sedona. Before the dawning of the New Age, other geologic ages left their marks on this landscape: the Jurassic, Cretaceous, Tertiary, each depositing bands of color to the hills. Over 300 million years, the Sedona Plate was pushed into plateaus, blanketed by lava, whipped by sandstorms, and plunged beneath the ocean. Virtually nothing on the planet could withstand the combined force of wind, water, and time. And nowhere is that more evident than at the grandest canyon on Earth.
It kind of takes your breath away. The Palisades, the steep 5,000-foot cliffs on the right, very colorful. And out beyond that is the beautiful painted desert. It's a panorama that's 100 miles from horizon to horizon. And we never get tired of looking at it. All these layers that you see are made up of sedimentary material. It's limestone, sandstone, and shale. What happened is when the Pacific Plate started pushing into this area, this land began slowly to rise. And as the land rose, the river continued cutting down through each layer, one layer at a time. The sides of the canyon began to erode, freeze and thaw, freeze and thaw. Chunks would fall down. All that material gradually works its way down to the Colorado River and out to the Sea of Cortez.
The canyon has a secret. It sustains life, not just the desert flora that cling to the walls, or the sure-footed fauna at the rim. People live here.
There at the bottom is a very small grouping of people who are known as the Havasupai Indians. Born, raised at the bottom of the Grand Canyon. I come from one of the most isolated native tribes in the United States, and our naming of the tribe translates into the English language as people of the blue-green waters. Nurture that spiritual within you, and that is the songs of the people. And if you listen, you'll hear the beauty of how the sounds reflect upon every color there is. The rocks have always been, they shall be, and will be forever. Legend within our people is that it will forever watch and see and bless all those that come in. And as long as you come in with a beauty of heart, the beauty of its giving will be very powerful. When I walk into the canyon, I get a sense of being a part of it. The beauty of the surrounding brings forth a sense of awe within the heart.
Nearly a third of Arizona is Indian reservation, but at one time, the Hohokam, Sinawans, Anasazi, Havasupai, Yavapai, and Apache ruled all the land within the four borders, building towering villages in the Verde Valley, sculpting fortresses of clay and brick within the canyon walls, and channeling spring water to flow down irrigation ditches to fields of corn and wheat. The farmlands they cultivated were eventually taken over by white settlers who called upon the U.S. cavalry to move the natives to reservations. For 100 years, the tribes waited before the government granted compensation and autonomy over ancestral lands. Native Americans made the white man pay. In fact, they're still paying.
Next year, we're planning a major expansion. And this building here is about 15,000 square feet. We're planning a 100,000 square foot facility. The tribe increased their employment role from 20 3 years ago to 145 this year. So that's made a big impact on a community of 1,500 people.
The Tribal Council has voted to use profits to develop educational programs for Yavapai Apache youth. But other tribes have opted for cash payouts, resulting in annual stipends of up to $5,000 for every Indian man, woman, and child.
We can gamble here because the tribe can pass their own civil regulations. For example, the state says you can only play bingo for approximately $200 a game. The tribe can say, okay, we choose to play for $1,000 a game.
But the future of this new lifestyle is uncharted. To find the way, natives look to the past.
The way of the old ones is forever. And the way of the old ones is love and compassion. Each of us is not greater than the other. And living in harmony with each other, together, we are the medicine. Because the prophecy is, in the land of the red rocks, the east will meet the west, and there the flower will bloom. And together we will stand, red, yellow, black, and white, and the rainbow warrior will be born, and the healing of mankind will begin.
A little more than 100 years ago, the most welcome sight to settlers was the flag of the U.S. Cavalry. And so it is today, in a celebration of the pioneer days of the Verde Valley.
Everyone should be proud of their heritage, regardless of what it is or where it is. You should think of our grandfathers and great-grandfathers. All that down the line should be important to everyone. The farmers went to coming into the Verde Valley here because there was water. They could farm and raise vegetables and such as that. And then the Indians got to bothering them here, so then they brought the troops over here to protect the settlers from the Indians so they could go ahead with their farming.
What are you proudest of?
Well, my proudest of? The United States of America.
Each year, young ladies of pioneer lineage compete for the title of Colonel's Daughter.
She wins Colonel's Daughter for her horsemanship. You go through about a week of practicing in side saddle, doing the figure eight, and then you have to come through and talk to the judges, and they based on your horsemanship and your personality.
For this one weekend, Valley folks take to their old ways, talking, walking, dressing, and eating as their ancestors did.
What is this?
Lamb stew.
Ooh, that looks very brown.
We're serving deep pit barbecue beef, beans, coleslaw, and bread. They cut whatever meat that they had, and they used Dutch ovens, or they cooked it over an open fire.
Looks like that ought to fill me up.
It should. If it doesn't come back, we'll give you some more.
Gaze at the stars until I lose my senses. Can't stand hollers and I can't stand fences. Don't stand still.
And they smash the rock into the dust. And of course, gold's the heaviest, so it goes to the bottom.
So how much do you think you got there?
Oh, there's probably $5 there.
The properties here are rich in copper and minerals, as well as you see the trees and the vegetation. That's why the Bostonians moved to Flagstaff and the pioneers kept moving forward. At first, we had to have the cavalry come in and actually remove the Native Americans so that the white man could be a participant to this land and rake the resources. And we are the ones that are coming to grips with what we have done to these people, and we are feeling the pain of that as we go through some of the reservations and deal now closely with the Native Americans.
With the history of Fort Verde only 2 generations old, it's not difficult for modern Arizonans to get in the spirit of the pioneer past, not with the Fort Verde 5th Cavalry Band stirring Old West memories. The New West hums an altogether different tune. There's a new sound for modern ears, one called, not by coincidence, New Age. And in Sedona, the minstrel of the new millennium is Chris Spiris.
Sedona is now my home, and I like an opportunity to give something back to the people that have helped inspire what I do, and the landscape that's helped inspire what I do. You know, it's a funny thing. People talk about vortexes and energy and things here. I just feel like the force of nature is so beautiful and so powerful, it just keeps me awake all the time. It just keeps me alive. And I have no trouble creating in Sedona, ever. The audiences are very open. My music isn't necessarily dance music, but people find a real creative way to dance to it. That's one thing I love about Sedona. People are open to new ideas and new ways of life, and they're not as judgmental as in other places I've lived. It leaves a lot of room for creativity. Thank you. Thank you.
O Great Spirit, whose voice I hear in the winds, and whose breath gives life to all the world, hear me. Let me walk in beauty and make my eyes ever behold the red and purple sunset. Let me learn the lessons you have hidden in every leaf and rock. Make me always ready to come to you with clean hands and straight eyes. So when life fades like the fading sunset, my spirit may come to you without shame.
There are many songs of Sedona, not all sung with human voices, not all heard with human ears. Do you have the heart to hear?
Thanks for joining us in Sedona. That's Mixed Plate. I'm Pamela Young.